Hello, my name is Makoto Iwaya, Technical Director at Tony & Guy Academy and Label M Professional. Here we are at the campaign shooting of our latest collection, Socialize. The look I worked on today is called Instalax. The Instalax is inspired by the Japanese traditional art, dyeing, daya and kimono. The violet or purple is one of the most difficult to create from natural material. The reason because the flower produced the dye, so we created the mid-length is made by some texture and glossy violet with the impressive fringe, using some different techniques depending on the differences in texture of Hide's haircut. The root is dark, the texture had the purple to get the imperfect effect. Now let's take a look at the step-by-step of the Instalax.
The hair is sectioned by taking a large triangle, the point towards the crown and the wide end towards the hairline into the mid-recession area. From midway on the side of the triangle, a slight diagonal parting is taken back to behind the ear to create an almost rectangle section on the side. This is repeated on the other side. From the point of the top triangle, the back is sectioned into two using a profile parting. On either side of the profile parting and to just below the occipital bone, two triangle sections with the wide end towards the nape are taken. Directly above these, two more triangles are taken to just above the occipital bone. This will then leave two larger block-like sections around the top back area and into the radial. Previous to starting this application, the hair was sectioned in the same manner and pre-lightened areas have been worked into the hair using end applications and colour band applications. This will illuminate the colour for the final result. Starting on the first triangle, lower back left side, the roots are coloured with the scorched brown. Apply the scorched brown to the outer side of the triangle first, stretching it down to the hair shaft to elongate the root application. This will ensure a deeper root stretch for the final result. Working with horizontal slices, work from the nape up in this section, applying the scorched brown to all of the roots until the roots in this section are complete. Plenty of product is applied to ensure a full coverage of the roots. Move directly over to the opposite triangle on the right hand side and repeat this method of root application with the scorched brown. Again, ensure plenty of product is applied for a thorough coverage. Using horizontal slices, apply scorched brown to all the roots, working from the nape up until the section is complete. Moving back to the left-hand side triangle, a horizontal parting is taken and a clear mesh is placed on the underneath of the slice. The roots are stretched out slightly and work the electric purple up the lengths and blush into the root application, ensuring a soft blend of colour for the final result. Directly above this slice, another horizontal parting is taken. The slice is placed directly over the previous, and with the same application as the previous, the roots are stretched longer and the electric purple is applied from the ends up the mid-lengths and blushed into the root colour. Where the electric purple sits over the already pre-lightened hair, this is where the colour will be more luminous to enhance the texture. And over the darker areas in the hair, the colour will be less luminous, creating a darker, more moody purple tone. This method of application is continued using horizontal slices until the section is complete. This section is then isolated with clear mesh. Moving back to the right hand side, a horizontal slice is taken. A clear mesh is placed under the first slice. The roots are lengthened slightly, and this time sunset purple is applied to the mid-lengths of the hair first and brushed up into the root colour of the scorched brown. On the lower lengths and ends of the hair, scorched brown is applied. This is to create strength towards the ends of the haircut and a perimeter texture. directly above the previous slice. Place this directly over the previous, and again the roots are lengthened with the scorched brown, and the sunset purple is worked into the mid-lengths of the slice. And the ends of the slice are coloured with the scorched brown. Blushing the colours together where they meet ensures a soft blend for the final result. Isolate this section with clear mesh. On the second section directly above the first on the left hand side, the roots are once again coloured with scorched brown. Applying the colour to the perimeter of the section first, then applying the colour to the internal roots within this section. Repeat this root application on the opposite triangle on the right hand side. Moving back to the left hand section, take a diagonal slice, place a clear mesh on the underneath. The roots are lengthened and sunset purple is applied to the mid-lengths and blushed into the root application. The method of mixing the application of colour on each section creates a multifaceted texture to the hair. Scorched brown is once again applied onto the remaining ends, and where the pre-lightened areas are, this will illuminate all three colours, which in turn will create added texture and fluidity. Above the previous slice, another diagonal parting is taken and dropped directly over the previous slice, and the same application of scorched brown on the roots, sunset purple on the mid-lengths and back to scorched brown on the ends is applied. This method of application is continued through the section until complete. Back to the right hand section, take a horizontal parting, place a mesh on the underneath of the slice, and the root area is once again stretched out a little longer, and this time the electric purple is applied to the mid-lengths and ends, blushing the products together to create a more blended end result. Directly above the previous section, another slice is taken, dropped directly over the previous, and the roots are stretched longer. An electric purple is applied to the lengths and ends. Make sure plenty of product is applied to ensure a complete coverage of the hair. The top left hand section is now coloured. Apply scorched brown to the roots in the perimeter of this section first, elongating them out to create a small root stretch. Then working with horizontal partings across the section, scorched brown is applied into the internal root area. Take a horizontal parting, place a clear mesh to the underneath of the slice, lengthen the roots and apply the sunset purple to the mid-lengths and out into the ends. Blushing the two colours together where they meet at the root application to create a soft blend of colour. As this is the crown area, pay particular attention to the root application and the blushing, as any lines or heavy placement of colour will be very noticeable. This method of application is worked throughout the section until complete. Isolate this section with clear mesh. Moving to the opposite section of the right hand side, a horizontal parting is taken. A clear mesh is placed underneath of the slice. Again, the scorched brown has been applied to the root area, and this time electric purple is blushed into the mid-lengths and scorched brown is applied to the ends of the hair. This method of application is continued throughout this section until complete. Moving to the front left side, once again scorched brown is applied to the roots with an irregular application, outlining the perimeter of the section first, and then working with horizontal slices starting in the lower part of the section. Work up towards the top of the section, applying scorched brown throughout the roots. After the roots are applied, take a horizontal parting, place a mesh on the underneath of the slice, and sunset purple is blushed into the first 2 to 3 centimeters of the length of the slice. Leave a 2 to 3 centimeter gap, and on the next 2 to 3 centimeter of the length, sunset purple is blushed again. In the area where the hair has not been touched with colour, scorched brown is blushed into the area and then onto the ends of the slice also. Directly above this, take another horizontal parting, place it directly over the previous, and the same application is used with 2 to 3 centimeters in the roots with scorched brown, 2 to 3 centimeters of the sunset purple, and 2 to 3 centimeters of scorched brown again, and then the remaining ends are scorched brown. Continue this application throughout the section using horizontal partings until complete. This application is called a banding technique. It creates texture down the lengths of the hair and a multi-dimensional light reflective effect. The same banding application with the same colours of scorched brown and sunset purple is repeated on the opposite side. The top triangle section is the last to be coloured. Scorched brown is applied around the perimeter of this section, first stretching out the roots for a more blended end result. Then starting from the point of the triangle at the crown, take horizontal slices, work towards the hairline and apply the scorched brown to the internal root area until the roots are complete. Going back to the point of the triangle at the crown, take a horizontal parting, place a clear mesh underneath the slice and electric purple is applied and approximately 4 centimeters down the length of the slice, blushing it into the root application for a soft blend. Scorched brown is then applied to the remaining mid-lengths and ends. Another horizontal parting is taken. Electric purple is applied to the mid-lengths of the hair and scorched brown is applied in the remaining mid-lengths and ends. Slices are placed directly over the previous through the top triangle section until the whole section is complete. This application is called a shine band. This idea of it is to create a brighter and reflective band through the fringe area, and the ends of the hair are darker to show the shape and strength of the haircut. This completes the colour application for the Instalux. Here we have the final result of the cut and colour together. Reflective placement within the cut enhances the texture with the use of colour. The fringe retains its strength by keeping the ends darker and using a shine band.
I'm so excited to be here today because I love my look. The color is beautiful and lovely. I love the color because the violet is one of my favorite color. Color very well in Hide's haircut today. You can see the texture, you can see the movement, the focal point in the front, the brown and violet, the beautiful together. I'm so excited working with so many people. Everybody coming together and creating different looks to create the socialized collection, and has been a fabulous day. And this is my look, the Instalux for the socialized collection.